Erin Park stood motionless at the edge of the massive observation deck, her alien form casting a long shadow against the metallic flooring. The vast starship hummed with distant mechanical sounds, but she remained isolated, a solitary figure surrounded by emptiness and rejection. Her species, the Mira, were considered the least desirable beings in the entire Galactic Confederation. Their unique biological makeup produced pheromones that most other alien races found utterly repulsive. Where other species had sleek, polished exteriors and pleasant biochemical signatures, the Mira were different, rough-textured, with a complex biological structure that seemed to offend almost every other civilization's sensory perception. Erin had spent years studying advanced molecular biology, hoping her intellectual achievements might overcome the deep-seated prejudice against her people. Her research was groundbreaking, exploring complex molecular interactions that could potentially revolutionize medical technology across multiple star systems. Yet, no one seemed interested. Her papers were consistently rejected, her conference proposals ignored, and her potential completely overlooked. The current research station where she worked was nothing more than a temporary assignment. Most alien races treated Mira like disposable workers, giving them the most mundane and dangerous tasks. Erin had been assigned to monitor radiation levels in a remote section of the Interstellar Research Facility, a job that most other species considered beneath their dignity. Her dark eyes scanned the endless starscape, reflecting a mixture of determination and profound loneliness. She had watched countless potential research partners and colleagues turn away from her, their faces contorting in barely disguised disgust when her unique biological scent reached their sensitive olfactory systems. The Mira had evolved on a harsh, chemical-rich planet with extreme environmental conditions. Their bodies had developed intricate defense mechanisms that produced complex molecular compounds, the very same compounds that other species found so offensive. What was a survival mechanism for her people had become their greatest social handicap. Erin's latest research focused on understanding these unique molecular structures. She believed that what other species saw as a weakness could actually be a remarkable evolutionary advantage. Her preliminary studies suggested that the same chemical compounds her species produced could potentially neutralize harmful radiation and even combat certain types of interstellar diseases. But who would listen? Who would take her seriously? The research station's artificial lighting flickered, casting long shadows across her workspace. Stacks of data tablets and complex holographic projections surrounded her, testament to years of dedicated scientific research that had gone unnoticed and unappreciated. She remembered the last scientific conference she had attended. As she approached the presentation podium, researchers from various alien species had slowly shifted away, creating a visible gap around her. Some had even activated personal air filtration systems, a not-so-subtle indication of their discomfort with her biological presence. The rejection was not just professional, it was deeply personal. Mira were considered undesirable even within their own social structures. Potential life partners would choose exile over mating with someone from her species. The constant social ostracism had created a deep well of resilience within Erin, a determination to prove her worth through pure intellectual achievement. Her current assignment was mundane, monitoring radiation levels in a remote section of the research facility. It was the kind of task assigned to species considered least valuable, a job that required precision but no real recognition. Yet, Erin approached it with the same meticulous attention she would give to groundbreaking research. As she adjusted the complex monitoring equipment, her fingers moving with practiced efficiency, she remained unaware that her life was about to change. The arrival of a human research vessel would soon alter everything she knew about acceptance, prejudice, and the true meaning of scientific collaboration. For now, she was alone, a brilliant scientist from a rejected species, waiting for an opportunity to prove her extraordinary potential in a universe that seemed determined to ignore her. The starship continued its silent journey through the vast, cold emptiness of space, carrying Erin and her unrecognized potential towards an unexpected destiny. The massive research station suddenly vibrated with a gentle docking sequence. Most alien personnel continued their routine tasks, barely noticing the new arrival. But Erin felt different. Something in the station's atmosphere had subtly changed. A human research vessel had unexpectedly arrived. Unlike other alien ships with complex geometric designs, this vessel looked simple yet purposeful. Its exterior suggested functionality over aesthetic complexity. David Kim stepped through the airlock, his dark eyes scanning the research environment with genuine curiosity. He wore a standard navy blue research uniform, slightly wrinkled from long space travel. Unlike many alien researchers who carried sophisticated scanning equipment, David carried nothing more than a basic data tablet and a small notebook. The station's artificial gravity made his movements smooth and calculated. Where other alien researchers moved with rigid precision, David walked with a relaxed confidence that seemed almost out of place in this structured environment. Erin watched him from a distance, expecting the typical reaction she always received. Most researchers would glance at her, then quickly look away or activate personal filtration systems. But David was different. He looked directly at her, not with disgust, but with genuine professional interest. Her neurobiological markers, the same features that usually repelled other species, seemed to have no effect on him. He approached her workstation without hesitation, his body language open and welcoming. "Interesting molecular structure," David said, pointing at her research display. His voice was calm, professional, without any hint of the usual condescension she experienced from other researchers. Erin felt surprised. Most alien researchers would have already created a physical distance, activating personal protective systems. But David stood close, genuinely examining her complex molecular diagrams with real scientific curiosity. "You're analyzing radiation-resistant molecular compounds," he observed, his fingers tracing the holographic projection. "This is remarkable work." For the first time in years, Erin felt someone truly seeing her research, not her biological differences. David's approach was refreshingly direct. He didn't comment on her appearance or biological signature. He focused entirely on her scientific work. The station's ambient noise seemed to fade away. Other researchers continued their tasks, occasionally glancing with curiosity at this unusual interaction. A human researcher showing genuine interest in a Mira scientist was unprecedented. David explained he was part of a specialized xenobiology research team studying adaptive molecular structures across different alien species. His team was known for approaching research with an open mind, valuing scientific potential over traditional prejudices. "These molecular patterns," he said, zooming into her research, "they're not just defensive mechanisms. They could be revolutionary in understanding interstellar biological adaptation." Erin felt a strange sensation, hope. For years, her research had been dismissed, her potential overlooked. But here was a human scientist who saw beyond her species' reputation. Their conversation continued, diving deep into complex scientific discussions. David asked questions that revealed true intellectual curiosity. He didn't just listen, he engaged, challenging her theories while respecting her expertise. The other researchers watched in silent amazement. A human and a Mira, discussing advanced molecular biology with such professional respect, was something they had never witnessed before. As their discussion progressed, Erin realized this encounter was more than a simple professional interaction. It represented a potential breakthrough not just in scientific understanding, but in interspecies communication and respect. David's approach was uniquely human, seeing potential where others saw only difference. He didn't see her as a Mira researcher, but as a brilliant scientific mind with unique perspectives. The research station continued its routine operations, but something fundamental had changed. A small spark of understanding had been ignited, promising to challenge long-standing prejudices and open new scientific horizons. Erin and David continued their conversation, unaware that their unexpected encounter was about to transform not just their individual research, but potentially the entire understanding of interstellar scientific collaboration. The research laboratory buzzed with quiet intensity as Erin and David worked side by side, their collaborative efforts challenging everything the scientific community believed about interspecies research. Days turned into weeks, and their initial professional curiosity transformed into a deep scientific partnership. David's human perspective combined perfectly with Erin's unique neurobiological understanding. Where other researchers saw barriers, they discovered bridges. The molecular structures that had once made Erin an outcast now became the key to potentially revolutionary medical breakthroughs. Their first major discovery came unexpectedly. While analyzing Erin's complex phenomenal data, David noticed something extraordinary. The same biological compounds that other species found repulsive contained unique molecular adaptations that could neutralize harmful radiation in deep space environments. "This is incredible," David would often say, his fingers tracing holographic molecular models. "Your species has developed a natural defense mechanism that could protect entire space exploration teams." The research station began to take notice. Researchers who had previously avoided Erin now watched her work with growing respect. Her biological markers, once a source of discrimination, were becoming her greatest scientific asset. Their work focused on understanding how Erin's species had evolved to survive in extreme conditions. The Myra's unique biological structure contained adaptive mechanisms that could potentially revolutionize medical treatments for space-related health challenges. Human research foundations became interested. Funding started to flow, not because of pity, but because of the genuine scientific potential they had uncovered. David ensured that Erin was recognized as the primary researcher, challenging the systemic prejudices that had previously marginalized her. The breakthrough came during a complex experiment involving radiation-resistant molecular compounds. Erin's unique biological understanding, combined with David's technological approach, created a method of molecular adaptation that could protect living organisms from extreme space conditions. Other scientists began to challenge their initial assumptions. The same researchers who had once ignored Erin now requested collaborative meetings. David's unwavering support had transformed her from an outcast to a respected scientific leader. Their research had implications far beyond medical science. It challenged fundamental understanding of biological adaptation, interspecies cooperation, and the very nature of scientific potential. "We're not just doing research," David would tell Erin during late-night laboratory sessions. "We're proving that scientific potential isn't about appearance or origin. It's about understanding and collaboration." The Mira research team, once marginalized, now became a central part of the research station's most innovative projects. Erin's colleagues who had previously avoided her now sought her expertise, recognizing the true value of her unique biological perspective. Human research foundations began developing programs specifically designed to support researchers from traditionally marginalized species. Erin and David's work had become more than a scientific breakthrough, it was a social revolution. Their collaboration represented something profound. It wasn't just about scientific discovery, but about breaking down barriers of prejudice and misunderstanding. David saw Erin's potential when others saw only her differences. The molecular compounds they discovered could potentially protect space explorers from radiation, develop new medical treatments, and create adaptive technologies for extreme environments. What had begun as a chance encounter was now transforming multiple scientific disciplines. As their research progressed, Erin realized something fundamental had changed. She was no longer the isolated, rejected scientist. She had become a respected researcher, her unique biological markers now seen as a scientific advantage rather than a limitation. The research station's environment transformed. Where once there was prejudice, now there was curiosity and respect. David's human approach had opened doors that seemed permanently closed to Erin. Their work continued, promising to reshape understanding of biological adaptation, medical science, and interspecies collaboration. What started as an unexpected encounter was now a journey of scientific discovery that challenged everything previously believed possible. The universe, it seemed, was ready to see beyond surface differences and recognize true scientific potential. The Interstellar Scientific Conference was unlike any previous gathering. Researchers from hundreds of alien civilizations filled the massive circular hall, their anticipation palpable. At the center of attention stood Erin Park, a Mira scientist who had once been completely ignored. David Kim stood beside her, a quiet but strong support system. The same researchers who had previously rejected Erin now leaned forward, eager to hear her presentation. The transformation was remarkable, from total isolation to becoming the most anticipated speaker of the conference. Her research presentation revealed groundbreaking molecular adaptation technologies. A holographic display showed complex biological structures that could protect living organisms from extreme space radiation. Each slide demonstrated how the Myra's unique biological composition could revolutionize medical and space exploration technologies. The alien representatives watched in stunned silence. What they had once considered a weakness, the Myra's unique biological markers, was now revealed as an extraordinary scientific advantage. Erin's research showed how her species' evolutionary adaptations could solve critical challenges in interstellar exploration. Senior researchers from multiple civilizations began requesting detailed information. The Galactic Research Council, which had previously refused her research proposals, now requested immediate collaborative discussions. David's constant support had been crucial in breaking through these institutional barriers. These molecular structures, Erin explained, her voice steady and confident, can provide unprecedented protection against radiation and environmental challenges in deep space exploration. The conference hall transformed from a place of potential rejection to a center of scientific excitement. Researchers who had once avoided her now competed to establish collaborative relationships. Her unique biological perspective had become her greatest strength. Human research foundations announced immediate funding for further studies. They recognized that Erin's work represented more than just a scientific breakthrough, it was a complete paradigm shift in understanding biological adaptation. David watched with quiet pride. He had seen Erin's potential when others saw only her differences. Their collaboration had become a powerful statement about scientific potential transcending biological boundaries. The Mira research team, once marginalized, now became central to multiple interstellar research projects. Other species began requesting Mira scientists for specialized research positions, completely reversing previous discriminatory practices. Government representatives from various alien civilizations approached Erin, discussing potential applications of her research. Space exploration agencies saw her work as a potential solution to long-standing challenges of protecting living organisms in extreme environments. During the conference's networking sessions, Erin found herself surrounded by researchers eager to understand her unique perspective. The same individuals who had previously avoided her now sought her insights and expertise. David continued to support her, ensuring that she received proper recognition. He understood that their collaboration was about more than scientific discovery, it was about challenging systemic prejudices and opening new pathways of understanding. The research they presented showed how the Myra's biological adaptations could potentially protect space explorers from harmful radiation, develop advanced medical treatments, create new technologies for surviving in extreme environments. Alien civilizations that had previously marginalized the Mira now sought their scientific expertise. Research institutions began developing specialized programs to support researchers from traditionally overlooked species. As the conference progressed, it became clear that Erin and David's work was transforming more than just scientific understanding. They were challenging fundamental assumptions about biological potential, interspecies collaboration, and the nature of scientific discovery. The final presentation received a standing ovation, something unprecedented in the history of the Interstellar Scientific Conference. Erin Park, once an isolated and rejected researcher, now stood at the center of a scientific revolution. The universe had finally learned to look beyond surface differences and recognize true scientific potential. What had begun as a chance encounter between a human researcher and a Mira scientist had become a moment that would reshape scientific understanding for generations to come. 1 year after the groundbreaking conference, Erin Park stood on the observation deck of the most advanced research station in the galaxy. Her journey from a rejected scientist to a celebrated researcher was complete, but the real victory was far deeper than personal recognition. The molecular adaptation technology she and David developed had already saved thousands of lives. Space exploration teams now used protective systems based on her Mira biological research. What was once considered a weakness had become humanity's most important scientific breakthrough. David Kim watched her, a proud smile crossing his face. Their collaboration had transformed not just scientific understanding, but the entire approach to interspecies research. The Galactic Research Council had established new protocols that emphasized diversity and unique biological perspectives. Alien civilizations that had once rejected Mira researchers now actively recruited them. Universities developed specialized programs supporting scientists from marginalized species. Erin's work had become a symbol of scientific potential beyond biological differences. The research station hummed with activity. Young Mira scientists walked confidently through corridors that were once closed to them. David had helped create scholarship programs that supported researchers from species previously considered undesirable. Their breakthrough went beyond medical technology. The molecular adaptation techniques they developed could protect astronauts, heal radiation damage, and create new understanding of biological resilience. Space exploration agencies from multiple civilizations now considered their research fundamental. Erin remembered her early days of rejection. The same researchers who had once avoided her now sought her guidance. Her unique biological markers, once a source of discrimination, were now celebrated as a critical scientific advantage. The human approach to scientific collaboration had changed. David's unwavering support had shown that true scientific potential transcends physical appearances or biological differences. Their partnership represented a new model of inclusive research. Government representatives from multiple alien civilizations requested meetings. They wanted to understand how a human and a Mira scientist had achieved what seemed impossible. Their story became a standard case study in interspecies cooperation. Research foundations established the Kim Park Initiative, a program designed to support scientists from marginalized species. Funding flowed to researchers who were once completely ignored. The scientific community had fundamentally transformed. Erin's original research on molecular adaptation had expanded into multiple fields. Medical treatments, space exploration technologies, and environmental protection systems now relied on the technologies she had developed. Her work had become central to human technological advancement. The personal journey was equally transformative. David had become more than a research partner, he was a true friend who had believed in her potential when no one else would. Their friendship represented the best of scientific collaboration. As they prepared for their next research project, Erin understood that their work was about more than scientific discovery. It was about challenging systemic prejudices, breaking down barriers, and showing that potential exists in the most unexpected places. The research station's communication systems lit up with new collaborative requests. International and interstellar research teams wanted to build upon their groundbreaking work. What had begun as a rejected research proposal had become a scientific revolution. David approached Erin, pointing at a new holographic display showing their latest research developments. "We're just getting started," he said, his eyes bright with excitement. The universe of scientific possibility seemed endless. Their story had become legendary. A human and a Mira scientist had transformed scientific understanding, challenged deep-rooted prejudices, and opened new pathways of exploration. They had proven that true potential knows no biological boundaries. As the research station continued its journey through the vast darkness of space, Erin and David represented hope, a testament to human curiosity, scientific collaboration, and the incredible potential that emerges when we look beyond our differences. The triumphant conclusion was not just about their personal success, but about a fundamental shift in how the universe understood scientific potential. Their journey had changed everything.